Hey guys, today we're doing the Bataan Death March. Jenny, what's the furthest you've probably ever walked or hiked in your life, do you think?
Probably about 5 or 6 miles, but that was uphill, up a mountain.
Yeah, so now we are going 14.2 miles with weight and packs on, so that's why I call it the Death March. We might die, so we'll see. So back in April 1942, during World War II, American and Filipino forces were involved in a battle on the Bataan Peninsula in the Philippines against the Japanese. This became known as some by the Battle of Bataan. Well, after a fierce battle, the American and the Filipinos surrendered. Approximately 76,000 American and Filipino troops surrendered to the Japanese.
Logistically, the Japanese were only prepared for about 30,000 prisoners.
So what happened next became known as the Bataan Death March. For the next 5 to 10 days, the American and Filipino soldiers were forced to hike, by some accounts, over 60 miles without food and water in extremely harsh conditions. And most of them were already exhausted, dehydrated, and without food from the battle. And then the next 5 to 10 days became one of the most grueling and hellish marches of World War II. So for the next 5 to 10 days, they ended up marching without food and water and just totally inhumane treatment. It's now known as a war crime. Many of the soldiers that started died, and honestly, it was a really terrible situation. But you have to remember, in the Japanese culture, especially during World War II, to surrender was extremely shameful. The Japanese would kill themselves rather than bring on the shame of surrender. So they probably thought by the Americans and Filipinos surrendering that they were just dishonorable people anyways, but it doesn't justify the treatment they went through. But you can see from their perspective maybe what they were thinking. I'm not trying to justify dehumanizing and war crimes at all, but trying to think from their perspective what they were thinking, because some of the accounts said if basically you fell behind, you got sick, you got dehydrated, or if you didn't wake up in the morning to start marching again, they basically killed you. And they had these things called buzzard squads. They basically hung out behind the formation. If you fell back too far, they would just kill you or bayonet you and leave you on the road. And it was pretty awful. Some accounts say that there was bodies strewn along the road of the hike. Some people still alive. And then when the Japanese came up, they just ran them over with their cars and vehicles, the bodies laying on the road. Really awful stuff. But so what the heck are we doing, huh? Well, this is a annual memorial march that happens once a year. They usually do it in White Sands, New Mexico each year, but because of COVID, we're kind of doing this virtual this year, and everybody's kind of doing it by themselves. Mile 1, not so bad. So in combat, you got to be prepared for anything. You got to have
Yay!
fruit bars on you. Whew. All right, so we switched out packs. I think we're at about mile 3, a little bit over 3 miles, which means about 11 more to go. It's starting to warm up too, so.
Hans is way far ahead of me. If this was the real deal, I probably wouldn't have made it. We're still walking. Our turnaround point is coming up. I guess that will be halfway. All right, guys, it's kind of hard, but I'm trying to stay positive. On a positive note, this is farther than I've ever walked. We're at about 7 miles now. Instead of thinking of my achy joints and muscles, I'm trying to think about what a good workout this is. Hey guys, guess what? What is this, Lance?
looks like a ditch. No, it's the turnaround.
Yay!
What are we having to eat there?
It looks like, oh, peanut apricot.
So all you millennials, this is how we rolled back in the day. No padded playgrounds and padded slides. You just burn your butt all the way down the hot slide and then hope you don't smash your face on it. Here's a little song I wrote. Might wanna sing it note for note. Don't worry.
Be happy. Don't worry, be happy now. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy.
What happens when the sun's out?
I don't know.
You're supposed to say guns out.
Oh, my legs hurt so bad. Lance promised me a massage. walk. We hobbled all the way back to the Jeep. But it was awesome. We completed it. So we're excited about that. Most of all, we just want to thank all the veterans out there all around the world, past and present. Thank you for all your service. And remember, guys, stay crazy.